everyone, and welcome back to Days Out. And today I've brought you to the longest heritage railway in Norfolk. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mid-Norfolk. The Mid-Norfolk runs for 11.5 miles from Dereham to Wymondham, with a further 6 miles extending to County School, although this is currently not in use. Opened by the Norfolk Railway in 1847 from Wymondham to Wells next to the sea via Fakenham, the line was taken over by the Great Eastern in 1882, who doubled the section from Dereham to Wymondham. Being so close to a number of airfields, it saw heavy usage during World War II, with extra sidings provided at Dereham in 1943. Closure came in stages from 1964 to 69, being singled in 1965 and de-staffed in 1966. Freight traffic to Fakenham, however, lasted until 1980, with the last freights to North Elmham going in 1989. The Fakenham and Dereham Railway Society had been set up in 1978, moving to Hardingham in 1983, Yaxham in 1986, and finally County School in 1987. The Mid-Norfolk Railway Society was formed in 1990, based at County School. Moving to Dereham, they reopened the section to Yaxham in 1997. Wymondham was reached in 1999, and the railway was solely diesel worked until 2006, when steam became a regular feature. At the time of filming, Worthing Crossing is the present northern limit, with trains running there on occasions. Dereham is the railway's headquarters and once boasted a triangular junction. A footbridge was situated at the station's north end, whilst the engine shed was later used by DMUs. Freight facilities included malt houses, cattle pens and 2 goods sheds, with the yard also handling coal, tarmac and containers. In later years, UK Fertiliser had a depot here, now the site of the railway's engine shed. The next goal heading north is North Elmham. The single platform station was rebuilt by the LNER, with the dairy sending milk to troughs near Norwich. The tankers were coupled to passenger trains, but as DMUs couldn't haul them, it became its own service, with the last running in 1963. County School takes its name from a nearby public school, opened in 1884. It was also the junction for Wroxham and provided a fuel dump for RAF Falsham. Passengers to Wroxham ceased in 1952, with freight going in 1964. 2 years later, the station starred as Weaver's Green in the Anglia TV series of the same name, and also proved to be the ideal location for training films. Today, the station is a visitor centre. Inside the station building was a large-scale model of Norwich Thorpe and a reproduction of County School in its heyday. One item of stock is this Class 100, built by the Gloucester Carriage and Wagon Company in 1957. It didn't last long in service, being withdrawn in 1969 and was then acquired by the Chasewater Railway. It came to County School in 1999. Also at County School is this coach body from 4-wheeled 5-compartment third number 1380 of 1892 and a miniature railway run by the North Norfolk Model Engineering Club. When it started, the Mid-Norfolk Railway was an all-diesel operation. However, steam has been a regular feature in recent years. The resident locomotive is 4MT 264 tank number 80078, built at Brighton in 1954. Now this locomotive does have a connection with the eastern counties, being allocated to Plaistow on the Tilbury system. When that system was electrified, she, along with some of her classmates, moved to the Cambrian system, being allocated to Shrewsbury and Crows Newit. Number 45 started its life on the Western region as Class 14, number D9520. Moved to Hull, it was sold to British Steel, working at Corby Steelworks and Glendon. One of the groups based on the Mid-Norfolk is the Stratford 47 Group, who own 3 Class 47s. 47367 started life as D1886 in 1965, acquiring the name Kenny Cockbird in 1992. Still wearing its two-tone green livery until 1997, she ended her days with Freightliner. 47580 was numbered D1762 when she was outshopped in 1964, being named County of Essex in 1979. Ending her career with EWS in 2004, she is the only mainline registered locomotive on the Mid-Norfolk. Starting life as D1933 in 1965 on the Western region, 47596 was named Aldborough Festival in 1984 and wears a transitional two-tone green livery with full yellow ends. The Class 47s arrived in East Anglia in the late 60s, hauling expresses to Norwich and King's Lynn and later freights from Harwich and Felixstowe. The newest addition to the fleet is this Class 142 Pacer unit. The 142s were a collaboration between British Railway Engineering Limited and Leyland, with 96 units being outshopped between 1985 and 1987. At the time of filming, they've only recently been withdrawn, with this unit being taken out of service in 2020. Just beyond the level crossing was the site of Rash Green, a temporary platform before the Society gained access to Dereham. Despite its small size, Yaxham was once a very busy station, with 2 goods yards and a granary. In 1967, the 2-foot gauge Yaxham Light Railway opened in the West Yard, moving to the former East Yard in 1989. The railway owns a collection of diesels and Kidbrook, a Bagnall Ofro saddle tank from 1917. In service on this day was number 6 Colonel, a Ruston Hornsby 4-wheeled diesel mechanical from 1940. And number 14, another Ruston Hornsby 4-wheeled diesel mechanical from 1943. Thuxton served a small community and once exported turkeys. During its last years, the platforms were shortened at the northern end, but in 2010 the loop was reinstated and the up platform restored. The original signal box was reduced to a ground frame in 1933 and demolished in 1955. The present-day box came from East Winch on the line from King's Lynn to Dereham, with the frame coming from Seven Sisters in East London. Hardingham also had its platform shortened, but this time at the southern end. The goods shed was situated at right angles, with a loop installed here after the line was singled. The loop lasted until 1968, and in that year a concrete plant opened. The plant closed in 1975, and today Hardingham is a private residence but is opened on occasions. At the south end of the station we have the signal box, which came from Snettisham. Now this box actually has quite a funny story, because Snettisham isn't far from where I live, and I used to pass this box on a regular basis. And then all of a sudden one day it just disappeared, literally gone, no idea what happened to it. And then on a previous channel I was doing some research for this railway, and you just sit there and you type on the keyboard and you think, okay, we'll have a look at what they've got, and there's a section and it tells you where all the different signal boxes came from. And sure enough, it's like, oh, it came from Snettisham. And it's like, oh, So that's where it disappeared to. Between Hardingham and Kimberley Park is an old ballast pit, reopened with the help of Greater Anglia to store their new 745 and 755 units. This also saw the reinstatement of the downline to Hardingham. Kimberley Park was proposed by Lord Wodehouse, who lived in nearby Kimberley Hall. The platforms were extended after the line was doubled, with the Suffix Park added in 1923. Wymondham Abbey is on the site of the Brush Britain Works, which had its own private siding. The box here closed in 1965, with the siding worked by a ground frame until its removal in 1967. The present day box is from Spooner Row on the Bretland line from Ely to Norwich. Just up the road is Wymondham Abbey itself, founded in 1107 by Benedictine monks. Stone for the abbey came from Caen in Normandy, and the abbey also had links with St Albans. Shared by the monks and the townsfolk, a second tower was added in the late 14th century, with the monks having their own priory erected in 1448. Following the dissolution of the monasteries in 1538, the monks' church was demolished and all Catholic symbols removed, including statues, stained glass windows and screens. 1549 witnessed the Kett Rebellion, led by two brothers, William and Robert. They managed to muster 16,000 people and marched on Norwich, and the reason for the rebellion was that the landed gentry at the time were drawing up land enclosures which the peasantry objected to. However, in the end, Robert was hanged in Norwich Castle, whilst William was hanged from the church tower. During the Georgian period, the abbey's capacity was increased and a new organ fitted in 1793. The Victorians, meanwhile, carried out an extensive restoration, which was funded by a public appeal. The most recent addition to the abbey, and the most spectacular, is this beautiful gilded screen, which is also a memorial to the First World War. Designed in a medieval style, it features patrons of the church, the Virgin Mary and St Thomas Becket. Beyond Wymondham Abbey, the Mid-Norfolk has a connection with the main line at Wymondham. The station opened in 1845 and had extensive sidings with an engine shed, turntable and signal box situated inside the fork for Dereham. So that was the Mid-Norfolk Railway. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment and follow me on Instagram, link down below. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all on the next day out. Bye for now.